you're grainy on my device right now, so I know it must be a done deal for me.
No, you're
fine.
Fine.
Am I? Really? Oh, well, that's good. That's good.
Lauren, you missed it earlier. She literally was like crystal clear. And then near the end when we went on a break, no, Paula it was lagging. So there was about a 6-second lag. So I'd say something and it would just be like, she'd just be sat there as if she didn't hear me. And then she would respond. But you seem okay for now. So hopefully it stays, your connection. Right.
Fingers crossed with this one.
Okay, does anybody have a random question today?
All right, fine. I just paused to see if anyone would come up with one, but fine.
It was like all my random questions happened at the beginning of us filming, and now
she's like, I won't see that.
I'm out of random questions now for some reason. Take it away, Lauren.
If you had to, no, I won't go with that one. Okay, so you have to choose between two things: to bike ride across the entire United States from east to west coast, and at the end of it, you win $10 million, but you have to complete the bike ride in a week.
Mm-hmm.
Or you travel to space and you have to stay on the space station for a year, but you only get $500,000. No, I lied. $5 million. So across the U.S., 10 million 1 week, or space 1 year, 5 million. Which one would you pick?
Oh,
it's like a no-brainer to me, but I'm definitely going to space. Definitely going to space.
Yeah, she was like, I'm not trying to do that bike ride.
No, not even. First off, a week is very difficult to do that. I mean, to drive, it takes 3 days, and that's driving. No, a week is nearly impossible. And nah, space seems pretty cool right about now.
You'd be up there for a whole year. Like
you'd be
seeing the people you know and love for a whole year.
Fine.
See, that's what's putting me off, because I'm like, I don't get to see my family. But I mean, we are in the middle of a pandemic and I can't. But then I guess I can FaceTime them, I can still do that. Yeah. Where in space, you might be able to.
Space, you can do that. Space, you can do all that.
Not like, oh, it's nighttime. I feel like, I'm bored. Let me go. Like, it's not necessarily the same ease.
Yeah, it's a little bit different.
Zoom is available via space, Skype. I mean, I think it sounds great. Who's to say you don't bring a couple family members with you?
That was definitely not in the.
I knew she was going to say that. I knew she was going to say that.
Sometimes you got to make it work for yourself. You got to make it work for yourself.
It's definitely not even remotely in the options, and you know that. You knew that.
You could bring family, but you could.
You cannot. I'm just letting you know you cannot.
You cannot?
No, Paula, no.
Well, you know what? If internet connection, got some Wi-Fi hooked up, hey, Skype it and Zoom, that's how people have been communicating with family lately anyway.
Remember now, you're in the desolation of space. There's no one near you for like tens of thousands of miles. Also, you're not seeing like daylight.
Yeah.
Darkness.
No. Well, you know what? My spaceship, my little station has something that keeps me and my circadian rhythm on point.
No, you're
fine.
going to the space station. I literally said you're going to the International Space Station.
There's light. There's some kind of light. If it's fake, if it's LED, there's light there.
Yeah, but that's not helping your circadian rhythm.
Yeah, sometimes it can fool your brain when
but the light is on all the time. That is not going to help you.
Oh, well, yeah, the light on all the time is an issue. It's okay.
I feel
it's
like
okay. I literally still pick this.
You have sleeping quarters that are like a little closet with like an attached sleeping bag or something. So there's that.
There's no debate right now that I would change my answer. I'm going to space. Jess,
why are you just?
Jess, what's your answer?
I just
I'm going to space.
But I just feel like being up there for a whole year by yourself potentially. I don't know. I'm gonna bike. I'm gonna do it.
You do the exertion.
I'm gonna probably die on the way, but at least I'm still on Earth where I know that I can phone my family.
You're getting twice the result from compared to as opposed to space.
Exactly.
There would have to be a stipulation if you didn't make it in a week. Then you get nothing.
Yeah.
I can sit up there in a year. For a year. Nah, it's fine. Jess, I hope you don't die, because then I wouldn't be able to actually, like, go to your funeral, because...
This is taking a turn.
I know. A morbid turn.
Avenues of every potential situation here I see.
It's thoughtful of you, though, Paula.
I'll have like a little vigil.
I mean, like refuel and drink water, and it's a week. It didn't say that you had to do it like flat out. It's just that when you are running, riding,
yeah,
you gotta basically bike equivalent of sprint.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? The season wasn't stipulated. This could be in the most perfect climate for you, Jess.
Exactly.
Or the worst.
Exactly. But I'm still going to take that chance.
Yeah.
So Ashy D95 has commented.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
Hi, Ashy D95.
Welcome back. Thank you for tuning in as always. They have said, I would travel to space for 1 year and take the 5 million.
Yeah.
They're with you, Paula.
We're on the same page, Ashy D95. You get it. You get it. I'm just kidding. No answer is a wrong answer.
You couldn't train in advance. If in both scenarios you had to just go as you are now.
Yeah.
You would.
I don't think I could do it.
You would let yourself be launched to space with no prep.
Yes.
Oh.
We're talking about space, not like just like
yes. I know.
She's like, I'm going.
For the muscle mass I lose, that $5 million.
Exertion at all costs. That's what she's saying.
No, not true. But I think space would be a cool new experience. Like, who can say that they've just been to space casually? For the muscle mass I lose, I have $5 million to get a trainer. We can build up these muscles again. It's fine. It's actually, it sounds like a really cool experience. Whether there are people or there aren't, I think just to say you've been to space and see the world from a different perspective, quite literally, seems pretty great. Don't fault me for wanting to continually
I'm not
broaden my horizon.
I was literally like, yeah. And then you're like, don't fault me. And I'm like,
Don't fault. I might be lagged.
Sorry. Because it's so fun. Like, it's probably like, it's this. And I'm like, but what about that? And she's like, wait! So it's not you're not being faulted, Paula, from perspective.
You just get so immersed into it.
Yes.
It does. You get like deep into it. I appreciate that.
What is your answer, Lauren? I already know what it's going to be, but why and what?
What do you mean you already know what it's going to be? What do you think it's going to be?
You're gonna be biking. You're gonna bike.
Why would I bike?
I don't know.
Space, Paula.
My legs laughed. My legs laughed. Like, what's she laughing at? Nothing.
I would pick space. I think space is it's space. It's space.
You're going to
take it because I'm challenging you. I don't necessarily challenge because I disagree.
It's true. That is true.
Paula.
I am honestly shocked. I am shocked.
You're shocked.
I'm shocked.
When have I ever been like only challenging you because I disagree with you?
No, that is true. That is true. That is true.
It's just fun. Was out of all of us, she was like, I actually care about my family.
I know. I'm like, bye. See you on the love
people on this earth, so
I'm staying, and you two are like, no, literally right now I'm going. Bye.
You know what? Honestly, our experience, if we still had to do the Twitch channel shows, would still look like this.
But that would be amazing. You could show off your.
Welcome to my crib, but space station.
You'd be floating everywhere. Yeah.
We're going to from space. I guarantee you, this channel would be very watched. You're like, shoot, Twitch from space?
What?
That would be such a coup for any social media platform.
Well, who knows? What? Maybe one day, ladies, you can go to space. I will stay here on Earth.
Realistically, though, I'm not going without training. Let's be real. Realistically, like, I need to be prepared for the G-forces, for the feeling of enclosure in the suit when I'm in space, and I know that the only thing between me and the freezing cold / extremely hot misery of sun exposure and space vacuum abyssness is a suit. Like, I would like training before I do that. Yeah. Figure out what I'm doing with those gloves and stuff. And yeah, no, I wouldn't. Realistically, yeah, I would probably have to choose the biking because I would not go to space without preparation. That's how you get disaster.
Same with biking, like dehydration.
I was gonna say,
a week you can pause. You don't have to like necessarily go. And there's nothing that says you can't like, replenish yourself. I wouldn't do a week straight and then not like.
Because realistically speaking, it takes a car 3 days. And okay, so 7 days a human. I know humans are not on average biking like 20 miles an hour consistently.
I could upgrade my bike. I could upgrade it.
Why does the bike have to be manual?
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. You can upgrade the bike. It could be an automatic bike.
Motorized bike, exactly.
If it's a motorized bike, of course I do the on the trip.
You can't change now.
I'm saying that's only if we were looking at this realistically. The scenario wasn't realistic yet.
I know. That is flexible.
How many people have those bikes realistically?
What do you mean? Motorbikes?
Those like little scooter bikes that like you press a function and it goes and it can go into the manual.
That's a thing.
My friend has one.
Or it's a bike, but it's motorized.
Yeah.
I know about them, but I'm just saying that's not like the normal mode of operation.
Neither is going to space. None of this is normal. Paula, we are not normal.
This is not normal. We are not normal. Yeah. I like this random question. Thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you.
Honestly, it was really good. It was good. And you took me by surprise because I thought for sure.
Paula, you should know me better than that by now.
I thought for sure you were going to do that. Well, because the last one was peel potatoes or run, and you chose to run.
Because I like running, and I run in almost an hour a day, like every day. Like, that's not the same thing. I don't really feel biking. I'm not a biker. My balance is getting there, but it's not great. So, yeah.
Okay. Right. On that note, we're going to move into the regular programming.
Regularly scheduled program.
So hello and welcome back to the Arghon AI Twitch channel. My name is Jess and I am your host today. I am joined by the wonderful Lauren and the wonderful Paula.
Hi.
So as I said, today is Flags and Polls. So this stream basically is where we focus on some interesting made-up scenarios that revolve around artificial intelligence. So just to disclose here right at the start, we're talking about made-up AIs, so it's not Arghon that we're actually talking about, just to disclose. But this could be anything from discussing what decisions an AI would make depending on certain situations and criteria, or it could be an AI versus a human. Who would win? Who knows? That's what we're here to discuss. But the great thing about Monday's Flags and Polls is that there is no right or wrong answer. So, of course, as we are talking along here, be sure to obviously comment in the chat. Let us know what you think of today's scenarios. And, yeah, share it with your friends and family. Again, let us know what they say. Be sure to friend us, follow us on here. So that is twitch.tv/ArghonAI. We have social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at Arghon AI as well. Be sure to follow us on there. We've got some really cool content on there. Bless you.
Thank you.
And then, of course, be sure to go to the website, so www.arghon.com, which is at the top. Be sure to download Arghon. Actually try Arghon for yourselves. You can actually talk to Arghon how we are talking here. So be sure to go try it out right now. It's free. It is free. And then we do have a YouTube channel as well. So if you go to youtube.com/Arghon, check out the expired streams, but also there is some other cool content on there. So be sure to subscribe. So ladies, how was your weekend? How was it? Oh, okay.
It was a good weekend. It was a relaxing weekend.
Good.
The days are flying by, so sometimes it's like, oh, weekend, where did you go?
I
but
know.
Weekend was here, and it was a nice weekend.
Good. I'm glad.
Yeah. How about you?
Which?
I know when I said that, I was like,
because I was waiting for Lauren to unmute.
Yeah. Yeah, my weekend was good. Got stuff done. It was good.
Good.
Weekend.
Yeah, it always goes too quick, but another week to get stuff done. So I'm happy to be here with you ladies. As I said, Flags and Polls is fun, so it's a great way to start your week. But
you're here.
Are we ready with the first scenario?
Yeah.
Okay, so this week we're going down the creative route. So at the end, when we do our little wrap up, I will tell you about Thursday's episode, but it does link in. So today's scenarios are on the more creative route, so I'm excited about this. So scenario 1, would you prefer to read a new graphic novel that has been written by a human author that has been creating different genre novels for 10 plus years, or an AI that has been trained by 5 different authors?
I know what I'd pick. I'll wait for Paula.
Do you want me to go over the criteria again, Paula?
Yes, please.
So it's either a human author that has been creating different genre graphic novels for 10 plus years, or an AI that has been trained by 5 different authors.
And it doesn't stipulate whether or not those 5 authors have been trained in the graphic novel genre.
They could just be authors, different kinds.
Could just be like
normal books. Yeah, exactly. It could be.
You know what? I think for this, I'm gonna go with a human author that has been creating different genre graphic novels for 10 plus years. I would prefer to read that because if I'm looking for a graphic novel, I would like to believe that this person, after 10 plus years of creating, different genres of graphic novels are able to give me exactly what I'm looking for in terms of reading material. Yeah, so I'm going to go with the human.
Okay, that is fine. Lauren, who would you go for?
So I'm thinking about it, and it says by 5 authors, so that means it could be anything. It also means it could be by like some of the best in genre writers ever, with a little bit of diversity in the mix to keep it fresh and surprising. And but let's think. A human. I mean, okay. If we look at the way that people tend to like, you have kind of like the A-list. They're excellent writers. Everything they make is brilliant, and then you have the, it's all right. It keeps you entertained. Quality. And then people who are just, I'm going to call them misunderstood. Someone else would call them trash, right?
Oh.
I'm saying personally misunderstood, because it might just be we don't understand their perspective.
Yeah, you can't please everyone, can you?
Yeah,
so
you can't. So it might just be that. So there's a lot of variability in human skill, and that hasn't really been discussed in the example, but we can't pretend. Again, I don't want to do that thing that people tend to do, like I think Paula brought up the medical thing, where people immediately say, I want a human, because they want the human doctor's diagnosis, even though the human doctor's diagnosis is more likely to be inaccurate or whatever, right? Not accounting for all possible information, or as much information as an AI could process. And I think I'm making assumptions here. I'm assuming that we're talking about really comparable AI to human, not like, right now maybe hasn't really had much exposure. I'm assuming the technology generally is far enough along, and then you have the 5 authors, and then competing against, this experienced graphic novelist. And so, we're going to assume a base level of capability in my response.
Yeah.
With the AI. Yeah, and I think about also algorithms, like the Netflix algorithm has there was a point in time when it was bad. Like, as far as for me, it didn't really suggest things that I liked. It made a lot of assumptions, I guess, based on maybe cookies from internet history and other things, that I was just like, I don't know why you think I like this.
Yeah. Do you remember when they did the percentage thing? So it'd sort of be like, you would like it this percent, and it'd always be awful ones where it's like 90%. I'd be like,
Yeah. For me, my one was, if it was like 95% or above, good. If it was anything under like 90 and below, even if it was like 89%, I usually hated it. So, I just think that it's highly variable. But I also look at the fact that over time they've changed the way that they organize subsections and what goes into them. They've changed how they mix up certain things.
Yeah.
You have really funny headings. Like, there was like a heading the other day that we saw called K-drama for beginners. Like they found a way to really nuanced style of arrange their catalog.
Yeah.
But it really can be as pinpointed as possible. So I look at that and I go, well, if an AI is taking into consideration my likes, my desires, plus this information that it has, like, I would go with the AI.
Yeah.
Because again, I think it has either the same or slightly better chances of entertaining me as when compared to human, creators who are, honestly, I'll watch a ton of stuff and be like, this isn't my taste. This isn't my taste. But then equally, so I feel like if I'm going to toss a coin, I'm less likely to lose with something that can actually cater to me more than, some writer whose style or taste or whatever isn't even mine.
Yeah. No, I agree. And I think, because with these scenarios, and this is why we always say that there's no right or wrong answers, because actually there's certain things that maybe it doesn't quite tackle. So then your brain is going, okay, so the human author, it says different genre graphic novels, but that could be like 2 different genres. That might not be like, you know, the whole base of genres. And then with the AI, okay, it's been trained by 5 different authors, but who says that 3 of those aren't actually in, you know, comic book graphic novels? See, I'm more inclined to go for the AI because I think, again, so the majority might be trained in graphic novels, but then you get like the other 2 or 3 that can actually bring something new and exciting to the graphic genre. So I just think, yeah, I would go for the AI, I think. Just try something new. And again, you know, someone, not saying this is everyone, but someone that's been in the industry for maybe 10 plus years, maybe their ideas, you know.
Running out of them.
Yeah, you know.
Like, I've hit my peak. I've hit my peak.
So you never know.
Called, they named the book like, I don't know, another graphic novel.
I've been doing this for 10 plus years. Just give me money. Just give me money.
The hope is that they actually get better with each year that succeeds. You know? You never know. Sometimes you can go, I've written. The graphic novel is like, there's so many things that could be packed into it. You never know. You could run out of some of your best ideas. Hopefully you don't.
Yeah, and it's sort of, again, we've spoken about bias on different ends of the scale, so it's sort of bringing in that thing of AI could actually help humans take out bias. So again, that person writing for 10 plus years might be very structured in the way that they write, and might, again, just be very restricted just because they've been doing it for so long. So maybe that AI would actually bring new mediums to storytelling that maybe we as humans haven't thought about yet. You never know. And I think that's really exciting.
Good.
Yeah.
Also, Paula, I do apologize for cursing. Like, not cursing at you. It was really, I wasn't thinking.
Just talking about space. It's just talking about space. It's fine. I didn't actually hear it.
The habit of like yelling curse words at my team. Just want that to be clear. Sorry.
I didn't actually hear it because of, you know, #connection.
Okay. Censored by the connection. There you go.
But I saw your faces and I'm like, what just happened?
I think it was just, you were just like, no, this is what I'm doing.
Space. It's space. I mean, it's like space understands. Space understands. Space,
listen,
like, yeah.
I'm dealing with you and the people on the earth, and I just want to make it clear that that's not like, that was passion. It was
about
not
space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just passionate about space.
No offense taken. No offense taken. Even space is like, I get it. It's a big deal. I get it.
I get it.
Space. It's cool. It's fine. Like people who are like fans of like artists and stuff. It's like, oh my gosh. It's like, oh my gosh, you're blah blah blah. It's like, yeah, I know. I get it.
It's just
That's
who
what
I
space
am.
is like. Space understands. It's okay.
Well, Ashley D has commented again, and Paula, on your side again. He's gone with the human author. So it's 2 and 2. 2 and 2.
High five, Ashley D95.
You're on the same wavelength today, so.
I mean, it just makes sense. If I want a graphic novel, I want someone who has been the author of graphic novels for 10 plus years. I'm getting what I'm looking for. I do think, though, if the AI were to use the pool of only graphic novelists, I would be extremely interested in what that story looked like. You know, yeah, it would be very cool to like merge and mesh all of their different worlds together into a completely unique and fresh and new reading experience for the user. So I think it would be very cool, but I would have to know that that was a stipulation before I just went with AI, because it could be just, I mean, a DIY book. It could just be a DIY.
You can state your assumptions. Like, you don't have to just, like, you can say what you're assuming is the case.
Yeah.
Like how I assume that the AI has some level of functionality.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. As you said, though, yeah. Because maybe right now, AI is not to that sort of level. But, yeah, I think... Yeah, there's nothing wrong with making assumptions. I mean, as it's written, that's all we have. So it's not like, you know, we've made up.
I know I don't think I created that because I don't remember that scenario. So whoever created the scenario can, like, clarify. Okay, there you go. You clarify. Because that's in your head when you were originally starting to do the thing. So, like, you know, if someone makes an assumption and says, you know, the tree is green and therefore so-and-so, or I assume in this world it's purple, so therefore so-and-so. Like, the person who you can say, well, no, that's too out of left field for the scenario, or yeah, you know what I mean? And then you can, but otherwise, like, just make assumptions and state what they are.
Yeah. I think it's quite nice kind of keeping it open, because then we show ourselves, but whoever's tuning in, also, you know, the different possibilities and where our train of thoughts are going as well. But, you know, as I said, with the AI, again, it could be trained by like 3 graphic novelists, but then the rest are just normal authors of the novel.
Or, you think about it though, it could also be getting trained by like the worst writer ever.
Exactly.
Like, ever. But, you know how like sometimes things are so bad it's good? If it gets trained by like a bunch of bad ones, could it possibly spit out something that might actually be novel and interesting and actually not bad? Or, I mean, it's unlikely. But I'm just wondering, you know, if that's possible. Or if we get all the bad stuff and then somehow it turns into good stuff. Or it's so comical that it still ends up being great.
Or these people, so I'm thinking of like the Sharknado movies, like is purposely made to be bad. So again, these authors just might make like these cult, you know, like graphic novels. So then, yeah, the AI brings even more to the table. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but I'm sticking with the AI. I'm sticking.
Yeah, me too.
Paula's like, I'm definitely not moving on this one. Tried it with space. It's not happening with this one.
I like that our team is full of confident people who can stand by what they've said. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's good. We're not supposed to all agree on everything. And otherwise, you know, we wouldn't really be getting the proper perspectives to do what we do.
True. That's true.
That's a good point. And also, that's why we say with Flags and Polls that there are no right or wrong answers, because us as the Arghon team are not here being forced to choose the AI every time. You know, this is why we give 2 options and we just kind of discuss it, see what, you know, the possibilities are. And everyone tuning in as well, you can get involved in the conversation. So definitely let us know what you've just thought about that scenario. You know, speak to your friends and family about it. Get the discussion going of AI, you know, within your inner circle, and then let us know what they say. So you can always find us here on twitch.com/ArghonAI or on social media. So Facebook, Twitter, Instagram @ArghonAI. Slide into the DMs, let us know what they say. But be sure to follow us on there too, so you can stay updated, obviously, with our other content. But yeah. Okay, are we ready for the second scenario?
Yes.
Why not?
Okay, so I definitely didn't write this next one. So, but interesting because it was to do with graphic novels, which is, you know, sort of has some art to it. We're now moving to an art curator wants to acquire some new, unique pieces. Their favourite artists include Picasso and Vincent van Gogh. Two legends. Would they enlist the help of someone who has been an art lover for years but has never travelled to acquire art, or an AI that doesn't necessarily know what art looks like but can use algorithms and reviews to make decisions? So it's human versus AI again, ladies, with this one.
Yeah. I go last, remember, so.
But I did the question.
Okay, so then Jess goes.
Okay, right. So you've got... Okay, so would they enlist the help of someone who's been an art lover for years but has never travelled to acquire art? Okay. Or an AI that doesn't necessarily know what art looks like. Interesting, because the way it's been written... Because I just think with the human, I don't think it necessarily matters if you've travelled or not. Because there's other ways to view art.
Yeah.
Or the AI that knows what art looks like but can use algorithms and reviews to make decisions.
Knows or doesn't know?
Knows. Oh, no, sorry, doesn't necessarily know. My only worry, and I might have to go for the human on this one, because I worry, because if you tell the AI maybe that, okay, this is my favourite artist, are they just going to make something that's like so similar? Or does the person actually want like a new piece of art?
Wait, okay, so I'm confused. This is an art curator acquiring art. They're not like making art.
No, they just want to acquire new, unique pieces.
Okay.
So they can either basically enlist the help of a human, but they've never travelled the world.
Got it.
Or an AI that doesn't necessarily know what art is, but can use algorithms and reviews.
And it's not that the human hasn't traveled the world, it's that they haven't traveled to collect art. So maybe they haven't gone through the process. Right? So they might still have sophisticated taste, but it's like they've not done the like buying what that process looks like.
Yeah. But that's what I mean. So it's sort of like if, oh, hang on. So the AI... Okay, right. I was getting confused. I thought it was the human. Paula.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at myself in this question, but keep going.
Okay. No, I get it. So it's just, yeah, they're trying to acquire some art. I don't know. I feel like this is hard because I feel like actually now re-looking it's really similar. It is really similar. And also with the AI, if it's using sort of like algorithms and reviews, again, it can use searches in real time, which may make it quicker to acquire this art. Yeah, I'm going to go AI just because, you know, this AI could potentially help you get like 5 new pieces in the time that the humans got one.
Yeah. I was gonna go with AI from the minute I was saying stuff with algorithms. I was like, so I mean, it's like AI. It's like not even AI so much, but it's like big data, machine learning, and a little bit of neural network. I guess it's like all folds into AI, but it's not necessarily AI. But they use that in like purchasing stocks and stuff like that now, right? And all art are commodities that are creative as opposed to like oil, gas, and coffee beans. You know what I mean? And so the AI would, I think, do it with aplomb, and it would do it faster and with more variety, right? It can look at demand, it can look at the track record of someone's like art, you know, a particular artist's sales and what people are looking for, as well as trends, as far as, you know, art that tends to have longevity and you know the locations. I mean, you'd have to be careful to make sure that when you're putting in art that has value, you actually have a totality and you don't just look at European art. But, you know, just so that we keep things diverse, fair, and balanced, it could be seen as, oh, only art from the European continent has value, or the West, or, you know what I'm saying, non-diverse places. Homogenous places. You know, homogenous. So figuring all that in, so you can actually really get the true scope of what demand is and what it looks like. I would totally pick an AI.
Yeah. Ladies, I think you guys are spot on. The thing about artificial intelligence coming into the world of art, or really anything where it is placed, is that AI learns. AI can learn. The advantage that in this scenario AI has over the other curator who has never traveled is that AI can utilize anything to learn quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that it's using the algorithms and reviews to make decisions, I believe it's going to be the most sound decision in this whole art curation process. The world is the AI's oyster, as opposed to, to be an art lover is wonderful, but if you have never gone out and traveled to seek out art, it's almost like you have to start. And the learning process takes much longer for humans than it does for artificial intelligence to learn. And the frame of references have to be, slowly generated from a human. But with an I mean, to use algorithms and reviews, that frame of reference is acquired very quickly. So,
Mm-hmm. And sort of ease of access as well, I think. Because again, it's going to know your budget, it's going to know all these different things that, talking to a new person who potentially, you've never met before, you've got to then disclose that, and then they've got to go through that process when an AI already knows it. So again, as I said, in real time, could literally have found like 5 different pieces before the humans even started.
Yeah.
I think too, I mean, I don't know that the traveling matters so much. It's just being able to forecast trends.
Yeah.
That's a lot of art buying is, being able to forecast trends, having a perspective, right? Because you don't want to just be, a gallery that's like, we'll put anything on the wall.
Yeah.
But you have a perspective, and then you forecast trends within that perspective. And yeah, anyone can kind of do that. You just need to have the right information. And so I think Jeff makes a really great point about how quickly the AI can adapt, learn, take in information.
Yeah, it's the AI. The AI all the way on this question, which there is still no wrong answer. There's still no wrong answer. But I would say if I were, or one day when I become an art curator, I would like to have an AI that knows my preferences of art pieces, what I like, but also take into account algorithms, reviews, and learn from those things as well as my preferences. Although that was not explicitly stipulated in this scenario, when my AI is curating art for me one day, it will know my preferences by then. And even if someone is starting out with an AI and wants to do the same, the fact that AI is very quick in learning all of these processes, all of the reviews, taking all of the information that is absorbed into the AI and doing something with the information that has been stored and learned. And what they're doing in this situation is finding the art pieces that are similar to, maybe have the elements of Picasso and Vincent van Gogh that you may appreciate in curating your next piece of art.
That's interesting. Sorry, side note, we say Vincent van Gogh over here.
Do you?
Yeah.
We say Van Gogh because of like dough.
Yeah, it does make sense. It makes sense, but yeah.
Just preferences. Because you also say Van Gogh like how laugh is with the GH. So it truly is just a pick your preference.
It does make sense though. I mean, go, it literally spelled the same way.
I like that you say it like that. Keep on saying it like that. It's
well, Vincent van Gogh, that's how we're taught in school to say it. But Paula, with this scenario, I think this is where I was getting confused, because I think my brain was doing where it was reading ahead. I'm gonna do it. It was reading ahead, so then I got confused. So she's added a little bit at the bottom that says,
"Don't do it, Jess."
The AI can take overarching themes of both artist work and create a new piece of art. So the curator can make a unique piece of art. Can AI make art?
what constitutes art. Okay, I confused myself on the second part.
See, that's why I got confused.
Because I specifically said curator, and curators usually acquire pieces that are already made and
organized.
Yeah. But I still feel like it's a valid thing, though. Like, it's just two separate scenarios, basically.
I think that's a whole different scenario that we can use for a different
philosophical question. Paula went, she said, okay, now I've created that scenario. Let me deeply reflect on this circumstance.
But quickly, just to answer, of course an AI can make art. Why not?
I think so.
Why not?
Because I think so too.
Sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, art is up to like beauty. It's in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah.
You know? So if I could look at an ink splotch from a printer gone wrong, you know, and be like, wow, that speaks to me. Let me go frame it. And then someone else sees something abstract in a frame and is like, wow, like how long did that take? And it's like, no time, just to frame it. But again, it's it art is whatever you decide it is. So absolutely an AI could be art.
I mean, to keep on my theme of like toilet, there was an artist that did display poo, and that was art. So I mean, Paula's face. Yeah.
So what they do, like dip it in lacquer so it didn't stink, or was it just like actual just feces on display?
Hang on, artist. Hang on. Let's.
No, they may have done something so that shit was not literally. Sorry, guys. So it was not like literally in around it. I would avoid that art display, and I would definitely have been like, that can't be art. Like there had to be something done to like, I would still question it if they lacquered their own poop, but I'd at least say, well, if you intend to display it, at least it's not in its raw.
I swear there was like a more modern one, but the first one that is coming up.
And call it art. It's like the woman who used her period blood to create art, and you just go, I can almost imagine there was some real deep thought here, but it's just so intense a choice. It's so intense a medium that a lot of your artistic merit will get lost in the actual bodily expression.
Her artistic creation will get lost in the flow of it, right?
Oh gosh.
Paula.
Sorry, you guys, this is terrible. Why are these things considered art? I had to make a joke of it. I had to make light of it because I don't understand. This took a turn.
See, I swear there was a lady that did it more recently, like over the last 10 to 5 years. But the first one that's coming up is 1961. One Italian artist named Piero Manzoni decided to fill tin cans with his excrement and call them art. So
he sounds like he was just nuts. Filling tin cans with your excrement sounds like something that someone who, nuts isn't the right word. That sounds like someone who has lost their
crazy
marbles. Yeah. Or is high on peyote and any other drug in the 60s. So therefore, all logical processes, mental processes and thought have literally gone out of the window. Again, if art is in the eye of the beholder, someone might call it art. But I think when your message gets so completely lost in the medium, like, I don't feel like you did what you were trying to do. Like, I mean, if their intention was to thoroughly gross you out and that was the message, then I guess it's art because it didn't get lost in the medium. But I just think,
no, almost whatever their
way to, like, I don't know, purify it, like it was actually not originally, like, you know how like you get clean water from urine if you filter it, right?
Yeah.
And so then they called it pee water, and then they used watercolors or something. Then I'd be like, ha, I get the joke, because it's not actually what we think it is.
There's no way.
Do you want to know how much this was being sold for to?
Probably an obnoxious amount of money.
Hopefully they gave it away to someone who discarded it immediately. I'm just kidding.
I hope they just upturned that in the toilet and then flushed it and then put those cans. Oh my God, I don't even want to think about it anymore. That's just awful.
I will tell you how much, but Ashley D has just said, I guess you could say it was, and then he's put farts, art in all caps, but F is the lower. So farts. That's ridiculous.
Make light of this, because this is not regular.
I guess you could say it was farts.
How do we take these turns?
It's me.
We are genuinely intelligent people with absolute clarity of thought, but somehow Monday episodes always turn into
toilet talk.
It's just me. It's me. But to put you out,
lighthearted episode. If the intention for people to understand, there's humor behind it.
I guess you could say it was fart. Yeah. Sorry, that is the most ridiculous thing ever.
Ashley D95 is a comedian. Wherever they are tuning in from, wherever they are coming from, they're a comedian, wherever they live.
And at least now the viewership knows that we have a sense of humor.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm. So it was sold for $300,000. Mm-hmm.
My question still remains. Was it was it pure? Or did they do something? So that
I don't even think at that point it matters, because it's like you just bought someone's.
It's like fertilizer still stinks no matter how dry it gets. You know what I mean?
I don't know, and I don't know if I really want to read into it.
Really like cow feces, like basically glorified fertilizer. Or was it really like the artist just?
I think it was.
For those of you know who would buy it, but God, they're not the typical.
For those who are just tuning in, I'm just kidding. Are you confused as to what we're talking about?
We can say to you that this was not planned. It was just how things ended up.
Okay, well.
How they turned out. It's just how it turned out.
How it came out in the end.
Okay.
Right, moving on. I'm gonna move off that dirty talk. I'm gonna move off the dirty talk. Fart. I just can't. I can't with that.
I appreciate it. Don't feel self-conscious.
No, it's with the fart.
It's good to have a laugh.
It's a laugh. It's absolutely a laugh. Don't feel any kind of way.
No, it's just the fart comment keeps coming back, and I just think it's genius, but absolutely ridiculous at the same time.
Good. It's a good one. Like that's a good joke. That's a good joke.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, moving off the fart talk. So at Arghon, we do have an initiative called Vision 2020. So if you go to arghon.com.
Before we even get right into that, we have the transition topic.
Palate cleanser.
We can't. We need a palate cleanser.
No, I was gonna move it on into something. I wasn't gonna say anything. What?
Wait, I have a good leeway into that. Like all of these jokes we just talked about. One of my favorite facets of Arghon AI is, you've just had a long day and you kind of want to disconnect from your.
That's where I was kind of going. That's where I was going. Yeah. But carry on. I wasn't going straight into the poo.
Do the transition first.
Tell me a joke, Arghon. Now, if anyone who is just tuning in right now is wondering how they can plug this sentence into something that will actually answer you back with a lovely joke, a fun joke, a joke that you have permission to use in your own joke repertoire.
Yeah.
Head on over to Arghon.com right now. You can download the Arghon AI and begin interacting with Arghon. Be sure to ask Arghon to tell you a joke at the end of a long day, probably a stressful day. Ask Arghon to tell you a joke. The jokes are good. You will use them at dinner tables, parties, virtually, on Hangouts. They're good. Arghon.com. Go ahead and download that right now.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
I love it. I'm like being so serious when I say I love it. I can just keep on asking it jokes. And I'm like, Arghon.
It comes up with some good ones. It's really
good. It's good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that was the palette cleanser. Jess, take it away.
Okay, so as I was saying, if you go to Vision, arghon.com/Vision 2020, we have an initiative that is free that basically you can learn to code right here, right now. It's free. So maybe if there's some jokes that Arghon isn't telling you, you can learn to code and you can get it to tell the jokes that you wanted to. I'm so distracted right now by Lauren. But yeah, you can basically learn to code for free right now. You don't need to have any past experience. You can start right now and it is for free.
Yeah, it is really cool actually. All you jokesters out there, all you gamers, if there is a game that you've had on your mind for a long time and you want to be able to create your own, if you have wondered what that looks like in the creation of things that you've had on your mind, what is so cool about Vision 2020 is the fact that, we offer the educational templates for you to follow along and learn how to code, as well as an area for you to practice and create your own coding, your own codes for artificial intelligence, which I think is very cool because, like I always say, we are all creative beings and we all have things that we would like to see, maybe made different, or, we all have games or ideas that we want to bring to the forefront. And through Vision 2020, you're actually able to do that. You can share it with friends, you can keep it to yourself, and even you can even ask Arghon to review it and it possibly be something that is a part of the Arghon AI.
Yeah.
So yeah. And all of this is for free. Downloading the Arghon AI is for free. Vision 2020 is free. These are things that, I mean, when you think about it, it's like, wow, this must come with a membership and I must have to pay this big price to be able to learn a new coding language, when in all actuality, all you have to do is have, an internet connection and a keyboard and just be willing to learn how to code. That's it. And I think that is the coolest thing, because the reach can go so much further than this being for thousands of dollars or only available through universities. The fact that it's made available to everyone, no prerequisites, educationally speaking, no financial obligations. It is just really something that is there for you to enrich, empower, and to upskill your life through Arghon's Vision 2020.
Well said. Well said.
Okay.
I was going to say also, the made up scenarios, as I did say at the start, we are talking about made up AIs. We're not specifically talking about Arghon. But if you did want Arghon to, help make a graphic novel, or, you wanted Arghon to find you some art, you can use Vision 2020 to code these functions and features into Arghon, and you can make these scenarios real in Arghon's world. I'm still so distracted by that. But thank you, Paula. That was well said. But yeah, it is free, and literally you can get started right now. You can upskill your life, and it's a really cool feature, or initiative that we have at Arghon. It's one of the ones that I'm really proud of. So we recommend going over, checking it out, because you have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Everything to gain.
Exactly. But I think that is it for today, ladies. I think it's time to wrap up. After that emotional 10-15 minutes.
That was a pack of laughter. I could not, it was so hard to hold that back. Oh my God.
But that is it for today's stream. So thank you, ladies, for joining me. Thank you for humouring me, laughing with me. Makes Mondays more fun.
It does.
But everyone tuning in, be sure to follow us, friend us on here, twitch.com or twitch.tv/ArghonAI. We do have a YouTube channel as well, so youtube.com/Arghon. Be sure to subscribe. When these streams expire on Twitch, they do get moved over to YouTube, so be sure, if you did miss out, go watch it over there. But if you follow us, friend us on here, you will be notified every time we go live. So be sure to do that, because it is better to be involved with the conversation as it happens here. Also leave comments, all of that in the chat, as we will be back on Thursday for Throwback Thursday. So little sneak peek, Throwback Thursday, carrying on with the creative flow. It's about films and how films, you know, the process of making films was back in the day, how it is now, and how we see an AI like Arghon improving the film industry. So I'm really excited about that. So be sure to tune in. So it's 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is 8 p.m. British Summer Time. Be sure to join us, because it's going to be a fun episode. But that is it. Be sure to follow us on our social media, so Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, @ArghonAI. And that is it, ladies. Thank you again. Thank you for everyone tuning in. We'll see you Thursday.
Yeah.
Bye.